Good evening and welcome to the evening news for today, Wednesday, October 4, 2023. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Issues with exporting Guyana's honey to Fiji could soon end with new legislation. Guyana looks to Jamaica for best practices in financial market management. CJ rules in favor of EPA in flaring case concerning LIZA 1 project. Government MULLS changes to insurance law to provide higher coverage for road accidents. And FIANCÉ still in custody as police seek legal advice on shooting of BERBICE woman. Now for the news in detail. Years of battling hindrances to the transshipment of certain Guyanese products, such as honey, into Trinidad and Tobago could soon come to an end, with the relevant legislation currently before the Parliament of that Twin Island Republic. Vanu Manikchand reports.
For years, the Guyanese private sector has been lamenting the various trade barriers in place by Trinidad, which serves to block local exports to that market and which are not being adequately addressed by CARICOM's Council for Trade and Economic Development. However, Trinidad and Tobago's High Commissioner to Guyana, Conrad Enil, has underscored the need for the regional bloc to effectively deal with non-tariff barriers that impede trade among member states, noting that his country is already taking a step in this direction.
The legislation to deal with the honey issue is now before the Parliament, so that issue should be dealt with before the end of this year.
The Trinidadian diplomat made this remark in response to comments made by Guyana's Foreign Secretary Robert Prasad. Addressing a seminar on Wednesday hosted for a visiting trade mission from the Twin Island Republic, Prasad noted that Guyana has always been pushing for unhindered market access within Trinidad and Tobago.
We've made some progress, but there's still some outstanding issues in terms of accessing the array of the Trinidad and Tobago market. And sometimes our exporters complain. Take, for instance, we've had the issues since 2013 of honey being exported. We've had outstanding issues of pharmaceutical, where things are a bit vague and you're not clear as how it is that our pharmaceutical producers can access Trinidad and Tobago market, just as an example. But there are few people in this room and elsewhere who will tell you that they have difficulty in exporting their products and produce to Guyana. And we've always been consistent, we've always been fully committed to our obligations under the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas and our commitment in terms of having an area in which we can have not only free movement, but also free movements of goods and services within our CARICOM space.
While acknowledging that there is a widened trade deficit between the two nations, the Foreign Secretary outlined scope in Guyana for the two nations to partner, especially in the area of manufacturing.
We want Trinidad and Tobago manufacturers to look at Guyana as a place in which they should establish their industries, their manufacturing facilities, not only to supply the Guyanese market, but also the huge market that exists within South America. Take, for instance, our partial scope agreement with Brazil and that tremendous growing opening market within northern Brazil that exists. And so I want to encourage and to implore that the time is right and the time has now come for us to see less exports from Trinidad and Tobago to Guyana by manufacturers, and rather see manufacturers from Trinidad and Tobago coming, establishing partnership, basing their facilities here, particularly in the area of food production.
Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchand.
With financial experts from Jamaica in Guyana for the Capital Markets and Investment Conference, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh has urged these experts not just to share their financial expertise and best practices with Guyana, but also to explore local investment opportunities. Jarl Bryan has the details.
Guyana hosted the Capital Markets and Investment Conference from October the 3rd and 4th in association with the Jamaica Stock Exchange. In his welcoming remarks at the opening of the conference on Tuesday, Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh provided the attendees with an overview of Guyana's macroeconomic status. He revealed that between 2023 and 2026, Guyana is expected to average more than 25% annually in real economic growth. According to Dr. Singh, the government remains committed to ensuring the continued growth of the non-oil sector.
We, as a matter of deliberate policy objective, have committed ourselves to ensuring that we achieve and maintain high rates of economic growth and sustained high rates of economic growth in the non-oil economy. Hence the achievement in the first half of this year of real expansion in the non-oil economy of more than 12% and projected expansion, real expansion in the non-oil economy of more than 9% in 2023. As a matter of government policy, we intend to endeavor to maintain going forward in the medium term. I'm not necessarily sure that we can maintain 9% every year going forward, but it's our studied objective to maintain strong non-oil economy, strong real non-oil economic growth.
Further, he urged the attendees to explore investment opportunities in Guyana as well as for the experts to share their financial best practices with Guyana.
And it would be remiss of me not to urge an audience such as yours to take advantage of your presence in Guyana, not only to speak about the things that need to be done to promote capital market development, those are all important, but also to reflect very seriously on the investment opportunities that exist in Guyana. I urge you to take advantage of this opportunity, the opportunity presented by this conference, perhaps to share experiences, how others have done it, what worked elsewhere, what did not work elsewhere, including in the region. And we mustn't be shy about speaking about the pitfalls into which we fell ourselves. We've all fallen into a pitfall once or twice. Otherwise, we haven't been traversing a journey at all.
He also made reference to ITEL BPO, a Jamaica call center currently operating in Guyana, and its plans to expand.
We could speak about services, including business process outsourcing, which has created in the last 3 years more than 1,500 jobs, including with the support and involvement of Jamaican investors, because there's at least one Jamaican BPO, a fairly large Jamaican BPO that has a very significant presence in Guyana, and is the second or third largest BPO operating in Guyana, with plans to grow and expand. We have the world's largest BPO also operating in Guyana with plans to expand. They just opened a second location. We see the BPO sector growing, and in particular creating new types of jobs, and jobs for jobs in areas where the oil and gas sector is going to take a little bit longer to get to.
During the Investments and Capital Markets Conference, business leaders and Jamaican financial experts are expected to share their insights on investing. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
Attorney General Anil Nandlal has called out the protests organized by the Partnership for National Unity and the Alliance for Change in favor of the electoral fraud accused, noting that this clearly demonstrates the political parties' position when it comes to the attempts to derail the 2020 elections. Here are the details from Luanda McAllister.
When the electoral fraud accused appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Tuesday for commencement of their respective trial, several supporters of the APNU-AFC gathered outside to stage a protest in favor of the defendants. Among those charged are PNC Member of Parliament Walla Lawrence, APNU's Carol Smith-Joseph, and several former GCOM employees, including the then Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowingfield, his then Deputy Roxanne Myers, and the former Region 4 Returning Officer Claremont Mingo. Commenting on this development during his program Issues in the News, Attorney General Anil Nandlal expressed that this clearly shows the position the APNU-AFC has taken when it comes to electoral fraud at the 2020 polls.
One would have expected that the APNU-AFC would have wanted to distance themselves from those charges and those who were charged. Lo and behold, they seem to have pulled off their masks, and they are now openly demonstrating that they were and still are in cahoots with those who attempted to perpetrate the massive fraud at those elections. So if you are in doubt about the AFC's connection to the individuals who are implicated and who have been charged with the electoral attempt or the attempts at electoral fraud, today those doubts ought to have dissipated, because APNU-AFC officially staged a protest in favor of the defendants in those fraud charges.
The court was adjourned to October 25th without there being an official start of the trial, a matter which is concerning, according to Nandalal.
There was a reluctance again to start the trials. The prosecutor, as he had indicated before, is ready to begin the trial. But there was a failure once again for the trial to be commenced. There was a failure in that the trial did not start as expected. Arguments continue to be advanced about separation of charges, about procedural issues, and and also whether one magistrate should try the case or the cases, or whether the cases should be tried by different magistrates. These charges are already 3 years languishing in the courts. I heard on the news the special prosecutor indicating, and I believe rightfully so, that a formal request will be made to the appropriate judicial officer, requesting that a special magistrate be assigned to hear and determine these cases, or at least some other appropriate arrangement is put into place to ensure that these trials commence soon.
Special Prosecutor Darsham Ramdani has already revealed that some 80 witnesses and 140 statements are expected to be presented to the court. Meanwhile, National Youth, who is representing some of the defendants, has hinted that the defense may consider legal action over the delay in the cases.
It is not in the state's interest, it is not in the defense interest, neither is it in the public interest that these matters of national importance are delayed further.
Luana McAllister, The Evening News.
Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George SC has dismissed the case brought by Seneca Henry, Charlene Najir, and Andres Torrington, the applicants, in which they claimed that the Environmental Protection Agency broke the law when it decided to change the environmental permit issued for the LIZA 1 Petroleum Development Project. Details in this Fiona Morrison report.
The environmental permit was issued by the EPA on May 15, 2021 to ExxonMobil Guyana. Among other things, the applicants had claimed that the EPA's decision to impose a fee of US $30 per ton of carbon dioxide equivalents released as specified in the amended permit violated the polluter pays principle. In dismissing the applicant's case, Chief Justice Roxanne George, among other things, said the evidence they presented was confusingly expressed. According to her, the applicants cherry-picked what they wanted to rely on to support their case, identifying and relying on clauses or parts in isolation. Consequently, the Chief Justice concluded, among other things, that the EPA's act of issuing the modified environmental permit has not breached the Environmental Protection Act and the regulations, and that there is nothing in the law that prevents the issuance of a modified environmental permit. She also held that EPA's implementation of the polluter pays principle in the modified environmental permit is in compliance with Section 4(4)(a) of the Environmental Protection Act. As such, the application was dismissed, with the applicants being ordered to pay $150,000 in costs to EPA on or before November 3rd. However, Attorney General Anil Nandalal has expressed concerns over the award of such a low sum.
Billions of dollars are being spent annually to resource the judiciary. Millions of dollars are expended in hearing and determining these cases. The state have to find resources to defend these cases. Lawyers have to be hired, time have to be consumed, research have to be done. Dozens of persons sometimes are engaged in one of these cases. And then in the end, the cases make no sense and they are dismissed as frivolous, vexatious, and without merit. But the courts do not express their displeasure by ordering appropriate orders for costs.
Meanwhile, no order as to cost was made in favor of ExxonMobil Guyana, in keeping with the terms of the order that permitted the company to be added as a party. The LIZA Phase 1 development is approximately 190 kilometers offshore Guyana in water depths of 1,500 to 1,900 meters. The project includes a floating production, storage and offloading FPSO vessel, which is currently producing more than 120,000 barrels of oil per day, with a storage capacity of up to 1.6 million barrels. Fiona Marson, The Evening News.
Coming up, Guyana TT manufacturing bodies talk exploring forestry trade, and Guyana's ecotourism industry modeled on Costa Rica's, says President Ali. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
Are you looking for men's suits for that wedding, prom, or special party? Or maybe you need to update your wardrobe with a modern fit or a new color for work? Search no more, because John Lewis Styles is the perfect men's suit store. Come see us on Waterloo Street, and our friendly staff will help you choose the perfect size, color, and fit. Complement that suit with a stunning shirt and tie, matching bow tie and suspenders, cufflinks, or even a pair of shiny dress shoes. You will love the way you look. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Superbet, your best bet. With many agents countrywide, our products are easily accessible. Visit an agent nearest to you to play your favorite games. Must be 18 years and older. Terms and conditions apply. Play responsibly.
Welcome back. You're watching the Evening News. Attorney General Anil Nandalal has revealed that the government may soon have to consider amendments to the country's insurance legislation to provide higher coverage for damages suffered by innocent persons as a result of road accidents. This, he explained, could result in vehicle owners paying higher premiums, which would have an overall impact on cost of living. However, he explained that this direction may be necessary in light of the continued reckless use of the country's roadways. Here's what he had to say.
There is going to come a time where the law in relation to insurance may have to be changed to allow for higher coverage for motor vehicles, so that those injured or properties destroyed can benefit from higher insurance coverage. Right now, because of the law, it's at a minimal level where the compensation that the insurance companies pay out bear no resemblance whatsoever to the loss that people sustain and suffer from these accidents. It's called third-party insurance, and the coverage is very minimal. And as a result, innocent people have to spend a lot of money either in looking after themselves or repairing their vehicles and properties without any monies coming from the insurance companies of the guilty party. The law has been kept that way because if the law is changed, then insurance premiums will have to be increased drastically. As a considerate government, we have deliberately kept the insurance at a particular level because of the impact it will have on persons being able to afford insurance. And that is why we have kept it. Because once that law is changed and the insurance coverage increases, then minibus fares will increase, taxi fares will increase, and it will have a ricochet effect on the cost of living. But a lot of people now are complaining against it. And government may have to take a second look at the situation, because we have to find ways and means of curbing the negligent driving taking place on our roadways and the negligence generally exhibited by road users in this country. A responsible government has to take steps that may penalize certain sections of the population. But if that is what is required, what do you want the government to do? You may be driving very carefully on the road. You may be as sober as a judge. But there is a man whose vehicle is coming at you like a lethal weapon because of his carelessness, negligence, recklessness, or perhaps his intoxicated state. And for no reason at all, you can become paralyzed. You can lose a limb. You can suffer serious injuries. Worse yet, you can die. That is what we are dealing with here. So, we may have to relook.
The fiancé of a quarantine woman who was shot and injured on Sunday remains in police custody as law enforcement officials await legal advice on the way forward. Our BERBICE correspondent Andrew Carmichael reports that the police have since gathered evidence in relation to an illegal firearm that was found in the house where the shooting incident took place.
Police are seeking legal advice on the way forward regarding an incident whereby a 32-year-old unemployed woman was discovered at the hospital by cops with a gunshot wound to her neck. Following the discovery, police had arrested the fiancé of Ashmin Mahadio, and according to the police, the suspect remains in custody assisting with the investigations. The incident in question occurred on Sunday at about 7 hours 40 at Lot 25D Williamsburg Quarantine Berbice, Mahadio's family home, where her fiancé would often stay over. On the day in question, Mahadio was discovered with a gunshot wound to her neck and was rushed to the Port Morant Hospital in an unconscious state. Reports are that the bullet entered from the back of her neck and exited through the jaw. She was subsequently transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital, and where she remains in a critical state. It was reported that an anonymous person called 911 and informed police of the incident. Ranks then went to the hospital where they found the woman being treated for a gunshot wound. Based on information received, Ranks then proceeded to the woman's residence where an illegal firearm was found. According to the injured woman's brother, Narish Mahadio, the firearm is believed to be the weapon used in the crime. He said the firearm was found in his sister's room, which the fiancé shared when he visited the home. The suspect is said to be a 29-year-old engineer of Lot 1313 Shoe Lane, New Amsterdam, who is attached to the Ministry of Agriculture, the police had said.
They find a fire.
Where?
In her room in the ceiling.
Which room? Where is it? In this house?
Yeah.
When? What time? How long after?
When we came back from the hospital.
And does anybody in this house own a firearm?
No.
Did he have access to the room?
Yeah, he's be in the room all the time. That's our room.
Okay.
Did he ever mention at any point that he have a firearm?
But the thing is that when we reach at the hospital, I asked Neil if he sees her phone. He said he don't know where her phone is and where is his phone. So I keep asking him. I say if somebody shoot her, if it's a robbery, her purse was outside. But he said he can't find her phone and his phone.
Mahadia was discovered in the front of her yard bleeding after a loud explosion was heard. Her fiancé told relatives that he did not know what transpired and initially suggested that it might have been a robbery. Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Vanu Manikchan joins us now to report that the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association has urged Trinidadian manufacturers to look into the vast opportunities in the local forestry sector, an invitation which the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturing Association has said it would be exploring. Here is more.
The Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturing Association is currently fielding a 44-member trade mission in Guyana to explore areas to strengthen trade and cooperation amongst businesses from the two nations. During a seminar on Wednesday, executive member of the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association, Rafi Khan, outlined that there is much scope for collaboration in the forestry sector.
We have room, tremendous room, for anyone who seeks to invest in logging, sawmilling, or manufacturing of a wood product. And coming from Trinidad, you will know our precious hardwoods such as green heart and purple heart and so on, the price it is in Trinidad. You are the consumer of wood products that is very expensive in Trinidad.
According to Khan, one of the niche areas that potential investors can look at is kiln drying products.
You have some amazing, I've had some amazing companies in Trinidad that make doors, that make flooring, that make cabinets, all using wood. Perhaps you're importing it from Miami, I don't know. But you cannot utilize any of our wood products for interior construction if you don't dry it. And this is the biggest gap we're finding in Guyana. We do not have enough kiln drying capacity.
In response, TTMA President Roger Roach said Guyana's wood is a premium product in Trinidad, and so the association will explore making the Guyanese wood more accessible and affordable.
People boast when they have Guyanese hardwood products in their house. They tell you that the floor you're walking on is hardwood, or this door is hardwood, or it's an expensive product. And we don't have a feel, certainly I don't have a feel for the actual cost of the product. So we don't know if the cost of the product is high, or because of the reputation of the product, the persons who are importing it are making very large markups on it. We do not have a feel for that, and relax, and the TTM will certainly look into that to see if, instead of having a few niche persons bringing it in, right, we can price it reasonably, we can package it properly, and then we can make it wide, get a wider distribution in Trinidad and Tobago.
Roger also highlighted the need for the two countries to partner in the area of wood-related paint products, especially given Guyana's vast skilled manufacturing capacity. Reporting for the Evening News, Vanu Manikchan.
President Dr. Irfaan Ali has revealed that Guyana will be receiving help from Costa Rica to develop its ecotourism industry. It is fitting since, according to the president, Guyana is modeling its ecotourism industry after the Central American country. Find out more in this Gerald Bryan report.
President Dr. Irfaan Ali had traveled to Costa Rica to receive an award from the Inter-American Institute for Agricultural Cooperation, ICA. The prestigious award was given for his leadership in food security and sustainable development. While in the Central American country, Ali held a joint press conference with Costa Rica President Rodrigo Chavez Robles to provide updates following bilateral talks. According to President Ali, Guyana will be working closely with Costa Rica in ecotourism, whose product Guyana has been modeling its own ecotourism sector after.
Positioning Guyana as a major destination for ecotourism, we have identified Costa Rica as our model, and we're embarking on a program to work closely with the government of Costa Rica in helping us to develop our ecotourism product in Guyana.
Additionally, the two countries will be working together to develop a common strategy ahead of COP28.
We are also I have expressed an interest with His Excellency in collaborating at COP28 on issues of the forests, environment, climate, and for us to work closely together to ensure the energy security and food security of the region.
In April, Guyana had signed an agreement with Costa Rica for further partnerships between the two countries in the areas of tourism and investment opportunities. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
With Guyana undergoing major transformational changes owing to the recent oil finds, the Center for Local Business Development has tasked itself with educating persons countrywide on how to benefit from public and private sector opportunities. As such, the center yesterday commenced its 4-day outreach through Linden, Region 10, seeing over 100 Linden residents eager to learn how to actively participate in this development. Pooja Rambran tells us more.
The first session was held at the Linden Enterprise Network, LEN Incorporated, in Mackenzie, Linden, and included information on Guyana's economy and projects, an introduction to the oil and gas sector, an introduction to procurement, as well as an understanding of health, safety, security, and environment. During the opening session, Director of the Center of Local Business Development CLDB, Natasha Gaskin-Peters, reiterated that the organization continues to support businesses in ensuring that they receive mentorship, while individuals seeking jobs are connected to the requisite employment agencies.
For those of you representing businesses, we will speak to you about systems that you need to build. So whether it is that you're seeking opportunities in the oil and gas sector, in the mining sector, in the agriculture sector, so whatever sector you're seeking those opportunities in, we are here to help you to build those business systems.
The CLDB director also offered training sessions to local businesses if they become registered with the organization. She further explained that as opportunities are funded by the Greater Guyana Initiative, which comprises ExxonMobil, Hess, and China National Offshore Oil Corporation, they are currently free of cost for the participants. Meanwhile, Regional Democratic Council RDC Chairman Daron Adams reiterated the local government body's commitment to collaborating with organizations like the CLDB that ensure that development opportunities are made available to all residents in an equitable manner.
The oil and gas industry is not just about drilling for resources. It's about building an entire ecosystem of support services, businesses, and employment opportunities. From exploration to production, logistics to technology and environmental management to community engagement. This sector offers a wide spectrum of avenues where our region's talent and enterprises can thrive.
He urged residents to see this as a chance to create sustainable livelihoods, become local entrepreneurs, and enhance their overall quality of life, noting that youths particularly can benefit from these advancements. Tuesday's session was the first of 4, with the others held at Watuka Guest House today, Cho's Bar and Grill and Extreme Sports Bar Wismar on Thursday, and Philu's Banquet Hall Amelia's Ward on Friday. Pooja Rambran for the Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to vehicular traffic on Thursday, October 5th, 2023 at 4 hours for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the BERBICE River Bridge is expected to be closed at 8 hours 25 on Thursday, October 5th, 2023, also for a period of 1.5 hours.
Intercounty Super 50, BERBICE stay perfect, Demerara get first win, and light installation commences at GFF's NTC. Details of these stories in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality? Or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Sadco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store. Located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rhymeville.
Did you know that when you leave your property unoccupied and unmanaged, it deteriorates much faster than you can imagine? Then before you know it, much of your hard-earned investment is wasted. At Hand in Hand Trust Corporation, property management is our business. Whether you travel for long periods, live overseas, or have several properties that require managing, let us at Hand in Hand Trust Corporation take care of this for you. Your property is safe with us. Hand in Hand Trust Corporation Incorporated, a